everyone, and welcome back to Art a la Carte. And this episode I'm going to be showing you something that a lot of artists don't enjoy showing, and that's our sketchbooks. So why do artists not like to show their sketchbooks? Well, it's really a personal thing for an artist. Our sketchbooks are filled with our ideas, trial and error, lots of errors, and things that we're really happy with, things that we're still working on, things we don't want the world to ever see because they're really bad. An art journal is kind of like a diary for an artist. This is a really kind of personal thing, but I had a lot of you guys asking to see some of my art journals. And to tell you the truth, I learn so much when other artists show me theirs. So I thought I would go ahead and show you some of them today. A long time ago, an art mentor of mine named Eric Goldberg gave me this advice. He told me to go ahead and begin keeping all of my drawings. He said, don't throw away any of your drawings from the past. If you have some artwork that you drew as a kid, keep those. Don't throw them away. If you have some pieces that you really don't like, that you think are a total failure, keep those. So why keep all these drawings? Well, for two reasons. One is a great encouragement. On those days that you feel like, ugh, I hate drawing, I'm so bad at it. Well, then you can go back and look through the journals and see how you've improved. It's encouraging to me to see how I drew a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and to see where I am drawing now. It's also fun to see what I was really into drawing. I definitely go through themes. Some artists will say I had a blue period, or this was my black and white period, or yeah, I had definite themes to my artist journey. And it's fun to go back and kind of see what was my favorite things to draw, because I drew them a lot. But the second reason that it's really good to keep an art journal, you might not be at a level to fully draw out an idea or a thought that you have in art. But if you can sketch it down in your art journal, years later when you go back and look through it, you'll rediscover that idea. And then you might be at a level where you can achieve what you really had envisioned in your head. As I said, I have a lot of journals, and I'm going to go ahead and start showing you some of them. If you guys really enjoy this, it might be something that I'll continue to share with you guys. So let me know in the comment section below if this was something that you enjoyed. Give it that little thumbs up. But yeah, let's get started. So I do believe this is the oldest sketchbook I had, and I think I had to get this at one of my first group art lessons that I had. I've always been pretty much self-taught. I did take a few like 2-week courses during the summer sometimes, and I think this came from one of them. So this sketchbook dated back to 1992, I think, so it's quite a few years old. 22 years old? Good grief, I'm old. Anyway. I tried really hard in the sketchbook to do my very best. I remember getting this and being very excited about the sketchbook. So here is a horse head that I drew. In this sketch here, I had read the book Bambi, the actual novel, and then had read the sequel, Bambi's Children, and really had fallen in love with that story. So I had quite a few deer pictures. So this is one of them here, showing Feline and the two twins. Yeah. So this one I actually dated as July 6, 1992, and I have the scene of a little house and then a lighthouse on this kind of cliff face, and I have some really nice clouds going on there. But I really like this right down here. I must have been very impressed with the foghorn when we went and saw a lighthouse, because I have this ginormous like foghorn, not something you would normally see in the everyday drawings of a lighthouse. So here I have, this one is July 7th, 1992. I have this picture of this horse. I can almost remember drawing this one out. I was definitely looking at a reference photo, but you can see here I'm really trying to get my shadows. I haven't quite figured out highlights, so it's all very blended together without getting my whitest whites in there. So I hadn't discovered that one yet, but figuring out the shading aspects there. So here is a Playful Kitten that I drew also the same day, July 7th, 1992. And I probably was doing this one for my grandmother. It looks like something she would enjoy. I have this old book and my grandmother's glasses here, and then a kitten playing. And trying to get a little bit of shading in there as well. So this picture here, you can see I am attempting to get highlights. So I placed in my shadow and then went back with my eraser and erased out some highlights there, but don't quite understand anatomy, the way the muscles are working, so I'm not quite sure where to put it. I'm just knowing that artists put highlights, so I'm just throwing it on the page. So this is a classic example of me getting frustrated with a drawing. So I did this drawing of this girl and really got frustrated with it, so decided to totally destroy it by art. So added in the mustache, knocked out a few teeth, gave her some stitches and zits, nose hair coming out, beard, and even gave her armpit hair with flies buzzing around. So yeah, so instead of just like totally just scribbling over my drawing or throwing it away, I did this to it. The next sketchbook I'm going to show you, I have it dated when I started and when I finished. This was right after I met with some Disney animators, and they just really encouraged me to keep sketchbooks. So I went through a ton. I just drew probably 20-30 drawings daily and just went through like in a week or so would fill these sketchbooks. So this one here, I went from December 26, 1994 to January 11th, 1995. So just a matter of like 2 weeks to fill this up. So here I have kind of a fun mermaid, but you can definitely see that I'm still not building up the structure line, so the anatomy is way off. If you take a look at her chest, which don't look at her chest, but holy cow, you thought Ariel was out of proportion. But I think it's kind of fun how I've got some nice movement to the whales. They're not all exactly the same. I'm trying to turn them a little bit. And this is a really big mermaid. If this is, you know, a whale, maybe it's a baby, but I'm like, wow, that's a killer whale. That's a huge mermaid. So here is Miko's family from Pocahontas. So there's baby Miko and Miko's mom. So now I'm drawing actually with crayon. I have a crayon pencil. So I'm just trying to get motion in there. But again, still, you don't see any guidelines in here, though I am trying to get my gesture drawing down. So this picture here, I had gone to Disney's Aladdin on Ice, Disney on Ice, and they had Aladdin. So I was had taken some photographs of that while I was there, and so used this as a reference photo and did some drawings here of Jasmine ice skating. That's why we see Jasmine on ice skates, because it was Aladdin's world on ice. Here is a drawing of Pongo. Actually, it looks more like Perdita to me, but I probably didn't know how to spell Perdita, so I just named it Pongo. And then we have Princess Aurora with some really dark eyeliner. Like it's major goth Aurora there. Another thing I loved doing as a kid and a teenager, I loved collecting Breyer model horses, and I would often use my models, my horses as models for my drawings. So this was one that I took off of one of my horses, and I named it Sand Dancer, the Arabian. This horse with his eyeball way up there. He looked like he ran into a wall and knocked his eye up there, but there we go, Moonwalker. So here's a little sketch of some cartoon designs for fish. Yeah, just kind of trying to get some emotion to them. That one I think turned out really good. I like this guy down here. Obviously not based on real fish though, but just finding shapes and having fun. I really did enjoy reading, especially horse books in my teenage years, and was very much into reading the Black Scion series. So this was an illustration I did off of the book, I think The Island Stallion. And then I decided I would just start illustrating stories. So here's my illustration story of Little Red Riding Hood, and Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, The Little Mermaid, trying to break away from the Disney-ified version. She's very buff. Check out that arm. She just works out or something. Thumbelina, Beauty and the Beast, The Match Girl. This was actually one that I played around with this story personally quite a while. I was always intrigued by this story. I always liked sad stories, so played around with this one quite a while, trying to figure out how I would illustrate it, and I was always drawing pictures like this of the little match girl. Another one of Thumbelina. And I don't know why I drew this. I was not a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, but maybe my friend asked me to draw Sonic the Hedgehog, so there I go. Drew it. Then I have my humpback whale. Peekaboo. And again, this is what I was kind of meaning about sketching ideas. And this picture here is, but this idea of a little puppy finding a baby duckling is kind of a cute idea, and it could actually turn into a really cute picture. So keeping your sketches, even though, they might not be what you like later on, you might go back and go, oh, I like that idea. I'm going to redo that. I had like a moment where I thought I would be a fashion designer. And I think within these next just 2 or 3 drawings came to the decision that I was not was not a fashion model. But if there is a company out there that would like to buy this design, go ahead and just message me for some of negotiation there. Yeah, I could totally see wearing this around the house, right? And I was trying to get very fancy with signing my name too. A girl sitting, very Ariel looking girl sitting next to the ocean. This is my illustration for the Swan Princess. Shakespearean, I think. Crazy looking dolphin. Again, another ginormous mermaid. I mean, this is a humpback whale here, people. And this is a mermaid. And this has barnacles already on it, so you know it's not a baby. This, I don't know, I guess I had an idea that mermaids were ginormous. So I came back, revisited the idea of the Swan Princess. Probably this is when the Swan Princess movie came out. So feel the burn right there. Yeah, and she's very muscular right there. This arm is giant. And I think she has 4 elbows, like, or 2 elbows. So her arms come here, and then there's a bend here, and a bend here, and a bend there. So, alright, so this one here is quite a few years later. I think it's probably like 1999, 1998, something like that. So now I'm starting to really have been, again, putting a lot of effort, a lot of work into my art and trying to get, put time. That was the biggest thing. I would rush my drawing so fast. I thought quantity over quality before. So now I'm beginning to slow down and take a little bit, not much more time, but a little bit more time with my sketches. So this was a comic story idea that I had. And so these are just some character designs that we had. So this is the Miller's Daughter. A little mixture of Disney and anime right going on there. Here is the water sprite. Again, so I'm starting to begin to see a lot more attention to anatomy and how that works. And once again, back to revisiting this idea of doing the little match girl. But I really like how I'm trying to get what the reflection of the light would be. I'm attempting to find that in this drawing here. This is an illustration of Scheherazade, which is the kind of tale of the woman who told 1,000 tales, and so she's spinning her tales there, which is kind of a fun. I like the colors that I chose. And random anime girl singing. So now this is the point where I begin to move away from Disney. I still have a lot of Disney referencing back, but I'm beginning to appreciate anime now, and so bear with me as we go through anime. I actually really enjoy this piece. This is fun. I mean, some of them are a little scantily clad, but the idea of these just little fairy sprites dancing, it's just fun. Also, the fact that I did this with pen means I didn't have any lines in there, and so I think I did pretty good for not having any guidelines to kind of show. I really like this one. I like this one's positions here. Random sumo wrestler. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine when I drew a sumo wrestler. And girl carrying wood to a fireplace. Random girl standing. Don't know her story. Probably she had a story when I drew. All of my drawings as I would draw, I would tell stories while I would draw them. I think I was challenged to kind of create my own like Betty Boop kind of character. Yep. Some sort of, it's definitely an illustration from something, not sure what, but an illustration from some story that I was told or read or made up as I was drawing. It was fun to walk down memory lane and see what I was drawing back then, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Again, if this is the kind of video that you enjoyed and you'd like to see more of my sketchbooks, possibly some more current sketchbooks or ones that you can see kind of my art processing through stuff, let me know in the comment section below, and I will post some on there, so that'll be fun. Well, thank you again so much for joining me, and until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye! Check out this new art background, it's pretty cool.